Wow, okay. Let's see. Well, medic is a pick class. Wow, thanks. Oh, here we go. Who's next? I wonder if anyone's actually watching my stream right now, as soon as I started. Okay, no viewers right now. Wish I had a second monitor so I could see like who's like actually watching without having to like alt tab constantly, but whatever. I need to take this vidIQ off, and I should probably hide my bookmarks bar. But yeah. I can't self advert in Steg's Discord. Ooh, I know. Forgot this place existed. There we go. Maybe I'll have some more viewers later on. Ha. Ha ha. Oh, I know. I'll advertise in my own little personal Discord. It's not even mine, but... Well, it automatically records that shit anyways for YouTube, so I guess we'll just go off from there. Alright, so... right. So... I figured that this would be the best way to actually do shit. So we're just gonna load on Black Void for now. This is gonna be a advanced lighting tutorial, I guess you could say. Oh, we got 4 watchers. Oh, sweet. I have like really shitty internet, so like there might be like a large delay. Like a really large delay because I have like 1 megabit per second of upload and like 15 download. So we're gonna like disable lighting for now, so we can just get whatever we need. Set our FOV to a bit low first off. Model, let's see, HWN. Scout. Let's just load in this model for now. Okay, 4. So, we got this model right here. Just gonna, since I just want to be lazy, I'm gonna like just import a sequence, just so I can show you what I mean. 25 centimeters. Yeah, I am. The 25 centimeters of fucking snow. Yeah, I'm doing SFM tutorials, like just doing it live because, you know, it's just yeah, I'm just SFM tutorials because I can't really like, I don't want to put in the time and effort to actually edit a video, so I'm just gonna have these little live streams in a shitty resolution, but it'll get the point across hopefully. So we're gonna have this little scout right here that I imported into Blender. I mean, exported from Blender and recompiled. I'm just gonna take off his hat real quick if I remember where it is. Alright, it says set body groups, hat, none. Let's remove the body groups of the headphones. Let's just do that. Do a bit of manual posing, I guess. This isn't part of the tutorial, just wanted to make it look nice somehow. Just gonna do a profile shot right here. Now this is where the real tutorial starts. Of course, everyone should know this by now, that you should turn this on real quick. Create this new for existing element. Turn off bloom all the way, bloom is terrible. Turn up your SSAO bias strength and turn down the radius a bit. Perfect. This is like the first thing you should do before you even, unedited too. It would allow, it would allow good beginners to view a good beginner's view into SFM. You're correct. People are like getting off the stream. Oh well. Guess I'll just do it while I'll just keep going anyways, whatever. So we got that scout right here, as you can see here. You know, I wish I had a second monitor. So we're going to re-enable lighting for now. I mean, we should be doing that anyways. Then we're gonna have our first light. Usually, what I like to do first is just get a nice little rim light going on there. Oh, look at that! Look how spicy that looks. I'd like to get like at least 1 or 2 rim lights, 3 at the maximum usually. See, what colors am I gonna pick? I'm gonna pick primarily orange and pink because I like to use those colors a lot. Actually, no, orange and blue. That's what I'm gonna use. It's gonna have a bit of a orange undertone on this first rim light, so I'm just gonna green, blue. Have a bit of red. Just add in that. Nah, it doesn't need the shadow filter size. It doesn't make too much of a difference. So, if you ever end up not needing to use shadow filter size, see, if you look here and I turn up all the way, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. That's like the first thing. So what I would just do is disable shadows on this light. Essentially. Let's make another light, same rim light. And I'm gonna make this one have a bit of a blue undertone. So you can see here, got that out of the way. Shadow filter size still doesn't make too much of a difference, so that's why I always like to disable shadows with my rim lights. So as you can see here, that already looks pretty nice, but it's still not enough. Another thing I like to do is have this kind of side light here, around here or something like that. Actually, yeah, that's hold up. There we go. That's a better positioning. I usually like to make with my rim lights. I like to make the light contrast with the rim lights so that they're easily distinguishable. So as you can see, I had a blue rim light on this side. If you can see my cursor, so I'm going to make this, I guess you could say, a more orange light to directly contrast with it. Now there was a trick. There was a couple nights ago. I think it was last night or the night before, where I was obsessing over the setting of quadratic attenuation. I still obsess over it, and here's why. I try to make my lights, each and every one of my lights, make a subtle or very significant difference. That's why I have maybe 12 lights in one render and whatnot. So first, to start off, we're going to see how much shadow filter size makes a difference on this. Okay, it makes a difference, but I kind of like the stylized lighting, so I'm just going to keep it like that and disable shadows. I'm going to adjust the intensity of it. See, the more intense the light, the harder it is to make the rim light stand out. So we're going to adjust the intensity, and this is where quadratic attenuation comes into use. It's basically like a fine tuner. What are those things called again that you a microscope, that's what they're called. it's like that that second little knob that you turn with a microscope. That after you already like use the first knob, it gives you like a layout and sorry, it gives you like a rough idea of what you want to zoom into, and the second knob is basically like the fine tuner. This is basically what quadratic attenuation is. It fine tunes the intensity of the light. As you can see, it makes a huge difference. It's not too intense, but it's not too not so intense. That's fucking. Anyways, so I'm gonna like do the same with this light. See how much shadow filter size makes a difference. The thing I often do with my lights is make them have a somewhat small impact, but make it so that if it actually like pieces, it's a kind of a 10-piece puzzle to a completely lighted subject. I don't know if I explained it very well, but you'll see what I mean. Like when I finish the render, so like I said here, I can make this light blue, so it'll be more easily contrast with the other rim light. And like I said before, quadratic attenuation is your best friend, especially for like low intensity lights. I don't know why I couldn't like get the eyes to compile with the scout, but whatever. So we're gonna have this light right here. I'm gonna put this light like here, I guess. I don't know. And we'll see shadow filter size. Doesn't make. Okay, it makes a bit of a difference. Did I even use shadow? Oh shit! I should have disabled shadows on this light. Yeah, this is like having lots of lights in your scene is really nice to have. Gives you a lot more control. Yeah, let's use this light. We're gonna make this a bit of a. Gonna put some orange in there, I guess, and have a bit of a blue undertone. Kind of balance out the colors a bit, so we get an overall color that's kind of a mix between orange and blue. And then we're gonna adjust the intensity, and then finally we're going to adjust the quadratic attenuation. So that's one way to do it. Then I'm just gonna add some more lights, kind of like the same formula. What color should I make this? Just gonna make this a kind of bluish light. Since I already had, I'm gonna put a bit of a blue light here. It's all about adding as much depth to your poster as possible. I usually like to have a light at the face. This is how I do a lot of my commissions, but you know, I make them look really nice. So we're gonna see how much shadow filter size makes a difference. You know what? We're gonna add in that. We're gonna add that in. And let's see. I'm going to, like I said before, adjust the intensity, and then the quadratic attenuation. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side of the scout's head. I do my lighting like a fucking scrub, my guy. Alright. Ooh, that looks nice. And we're gonna... Oh yeah, we need to make this an orange light. Intensity. And finally, quadratic attenuation. Add another light. Perhaps we can add a bit of more of a light that kind of defines the character. make it a bit more intense than the ones I've been using lately. Quadratic attenuation. See how much of a difference that makes. Okay, it makes a good difference. It's perfect. I'm gonna make this one orange. Alright, that's good. Shadow filter size doesn't seem to make that much of a difference, so we're gonna disable shadows on this one. Every time you get to disable shadows, you get some more windows open. You open more doors to more lighting. The best time to disable shadows on something is if you're using like a volumetric light, or if you're if whenever you change the setting on that particular light doesn't make that much of a difference. Like I said before, it's a really useful thing because you can't have more than 8 shadowed lights, so it's probably like a great feature. And so is quadratic attenuation. It's just such an amazing feature. Oh, and another thing is that with when you're coloring your lights, you want to have use all of the sliders to give it more depth. If you were to look at my commissions, let's see if I can show you my commissions right now. The meta commission that I did, see that? Hold on, let's show this first. I'm going to show you guys the original render. Look at that. And then this is the comparison. Not much of a difference, really. It's really not that much of a difference other than the obvious paint over in the effects. And that's simply because I really put a lot into my lighting. Yeah, so it's really interesting to take note of. This stream will be uploaded to YouTube, so it's a nice feature. Shadow filter size, okay. Did I adjust intensity? No, I didn't. Quadratic attenuation. And I think a couple more lights will do. Maybe 1 or 2 more will do the scout just fine. Let's see how much difference this one makes. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good light. Perfectly positioned. Disable shadows. Disable shadows. See how many actually disable shadows there is. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7. That means only 3 of these lights actually have shadows enabled. So that means I could have up to 18 lights if the rest of them were shadowed. That's a lot of lighting right there. Because it's not all about having it's not all about 3-point lighting anymore. If you want to make something look really nice, if you actually can, then I'll be surprised. Holy shit. It's all about the 12-point lighting nowadays. That's the new black right there. Oh fuck, wrong light. Whoops. This is the one. So just the coloring on this. Alright, that's good. Now, let's go back to light 11 and add in a bit more room lights, I guess. It's all about making the lights as stylized as possible. Yeah, trash. Alright, so then we're gonna have Another light right here. We're going to adjust the shadow filter size on that. Then I'm going to add... Now, you guys might hate me for this, but I have actually... This is actually how I'm going to position my light. You'll be surprised as to why I say quadratic attenuation is the best thing to ever exist. Because you can do shit like this. You can get away with shit like this. Look at this. We're going to adjust the coloring of this light to a light that's about the same as orange and blue. So this is what I usually do. Then we're going to adjust the intensity. Looks like we took all that lighting away, but watch this. This is why I think quadratic attenuation is such a good setting. Because of that right there. Let's like remap the slider range. Maximum 0. Fuck. Remap slider range default 1500. This light needs more color. There we go. And voila! You've got a nicely lighted scout. Wait. Hold on. Fuck. There we go. Now, so the moral of the story is that use quadratic attenuation more often. You can produce some really nice looking results like this. Let's take a look at how much a difference each light makes out of all these 12 lights. We took that away, take that away. You see that the differences that they make are subtle, but are noticeable. It's all about having the little subtle, small details in your lighting. As you can see here, we're gonna re-enable them and see how the light builds up. And yeah, this is like a basic lighting tutorial, I guess, or why did I call it basic instead of fucking advanced lighting tutorial? Import. No, wait, add team for fuck, I can't even add a team fortress item, so whatever. I'm just gonna, you know what, let's just like put in some volumetric lights and just call it a finished poster. I'm just gonna add a bit of a volumetric light here. You see, Steg taught me this, to add volumetric lights in front of the scout or like behind. I love the colors orange and blue because they contrast so well and they look really nice together. Just gonna add that in too. Wonder if anyone's commented on my stream yet. Anyone else? Oh, hey, Two Pricks. Oh, trash. I like, what is it? My commissions are like a key, for a profile picture is a key each, and for a poster it's like 3 to 4 keys depending on the complexity of the poster. So yeah, I just should disable shadows on this. Disable shadows, disable shadows. Yeah, I know my scout looks like he has a tumor, of course. That's what he's supposed to look like. That's what all scout mains look like. No, I'm just kidding, man. I know you're a scout main. What else could I add? Yeah, I'm just gonna add in like one more volumetric light to finish this off. To finish off this sexy render. Enable volumetrics. We're gonna put this volumetric right about here. adjust the intensity. See if you, oh yeah, you know, I just thought of it. Let's see if this actually works. If I like adjust the intensity and make it not so make it not so intense, and then quadratic attenuation. Oh, that's nice. Very, very nice. Me likey a lot. This is a very basic render in my book. Alright, let's, you know what? This is going to be like a 2-in-1 tutorial. I'm not only going to teach you how to do lighting, but we're going to, yeah, okay. We're going to do a bit of a paint over tutorial as well, I guess. This is what it's going to evolve into. So we're going to export this as a movie. Let's wait for my shit to load. There we go. Documents. I'm going to export this as an image sequence, 1080p, PNG, custom, frames, 0 to 1. Wait for it to render. There we go. Where the fuck did it render? The fuck? Hold up. I'm just gonna wait for it to load, I guess. There we go. Never takes this long to render this shit. The fuck? Alright, so I'm just gonna go into Paint and copy that. Because for some reason in Photoshop I can't even like drag and drop for shit. It doesn't even work, so whatever. Just gonna open up. Alright, so this is where it gets interesting. Since my scout doesn't have any eyes, we got to make up for that lack of eyes. He's probably deaf too. He's like pulling a Helen Keller on me, so... Alright, so we're gonna make a new layer. Let's add some eyes to this scout. I'll add lens flares actually. Just thinking of like, we're gonna do that. Wait a minute. My specs? Oh, sure. Whatever. Actually, it's trash. They're on my profile. My specs are on my profile, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, they used to be. Never mind. Fuck. I'll get to that later. Maybe like after the stream. I mean, sorry, after I'm done the tutorial. I'm just gonna like, I'm gonna be really lazy with this because I'm pretty sure some people already know how to paint over, but because the effects are like are self-explanatory. One of the things you really want to get is a tablet, though. I use a tablet and I love it. Best investment I ever made. Let me tell you. So we're gonna just make another layer, make a lighter version of this, I guess. But oops. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. hard light. Let's duplicate that a bit. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Control J, blur, Gaussian blur, hard light. My cookies? What you mean cookies? I'm gonna be really lazy today with the lens flares. I actually haven't like painted a lens flare before, so I'm just gonna be a lazy piece of shit and just get this one. This is the one I always use. Look at that. Look at the beauty of this thing. Screen. Alright, now we're gonna Control J to duplicate that. God. Image, adjustments, color balance. It's gonna set everything to magenta, however the fuck people pronounce it. I feel like there's a better way I could be doing this, but whatever. This is close enough, and this is as close as I even want to get to this. Finally, we're gonna add in a bit of smoke. Have a bit of a balance. One of the most useful things, this is a nice little tip for people. If you want to like make some really nice looking smoke in Photoshop, I recommend taking an airbrush, an airbrush brush, and like, I usually use the soft ones, by the way. Of course, have your shape dynamics transfer and your spacing set to 1%, and I often set the brush mode to dissolve for smoke effects. Alright. See ya, Two Bricks. So, basically, it's just like, oh fuck. This brush is a bit too big. Just gonna adjust that. This is how I do it. I hold like Alt and like right click to adjust the size of the brush with my mouse. Oh. Thought detected. X fucking D. I wonder if Dragon Ball FighterZ is actually a good game. Filter. I'm gonna duplicate that. Filter, Gaussian blur. Image, adjustments. Oh, hue saturation. Can you make that a bit of a more pinkish color? Then set this to hard light. Oh fuck. Oh yeah, by the way, with that smoke effect I was doing, you really want to use a smudge tool quite extensively to make it look really nice, you know. Might require a bit of trial and error, but you'll eventually get it. This is just how I usually do my smoke effects, though. It should have not looked like this, but whatever. I'll go with it. I'll just go with the flow. Alright, now to the actual paint over. Alright, so now we're going to be getting to the fun part, and also the most time consuming. So when we see this, we're just gonna like, if you want to paint over this shit, I usually like to use the color picker tool to do this, and I often use the harder brush. Shape dynamics, transfer, so I have more control over it. I mean, control over the colors and what I'm using. And I'll often just do this. Oh fuck, I accidentally had to set to dissolve, whoops. Set that back to normal. And we're just gonna, and we just go over it, I guess. The level at which you do this is quite variable, because it usually would be like based on whatever settings you had in your drivers. Like I use a Wacom Intuos, so I could just go into Wacom tablet properties. See my pen is the tip feel is firm, so I have to press harder to get the thickest settings. Chaz is probably going to make a quote out of that in the Discord real quick. This is going to be a real quick paint over. See, like, I remember a gay guy plays, who's like a Warframe YouTuber who is actually gay, but like, in every video, he would like make a gay joke every single second. I'm basically the gay guy plays, but I'm not a flaming homo. Not that I hate gays or anything, but I'm actually unintentionally making gay jokes. He intentionally does it, but whatever. It's not that like I said, it's not that I hate gays. One of my aunties is actually gay, so I don't mind it either, just as long as you don't rub it in my face. Let's not get too political here, though, but I have a feeling. So yeah, I'm just always using the color picker tool to add on, and to make edges look a bit more rough, so it gives it that poster kind of look to it almost. It's as if you were like, I don't know, it's as if it was like it's as if it looks like it was cel shaded. So yeah, we've got that going on. See, something like this looks kind of blocky, so I just like to fix that right there, and add in a bit more to make it look like that. If you see what I'm doing here, I hope the stream quality isn't too bad. Honestly, maybe I might like do a Q&A every stream. And who knows, I could probably become a super popular YouTuber XD. Though that's probably not going to happen. That's probably for the better. Who knows? I'm going to have commissions up my ass every single day. Because like yesterday I did like 6 damn commissions, but at least I got myself a nice heavy unusual out of it. Now medics will always be up my ass, at least. Maybe on 2 for it. Because I have a flashy hat. Similar to how I would flash kids at the park XD. Alright. So yeah, it's kind of straightforward to how I'm doing this. Kind of lazy with my work sometimes. Usually if I have like a customer that like comes like that isn't able to pay me on the same day that I am commissioned for, I often take the time just to put a bit more work into their poster, but because they're not there, or just take a break, like a really long break. God, I need to eat something. Fuck. No, wait, no, I just have acid reflux again. So yeah, this is just how I do my shit. Let's undo all that crap. That just looks like shit. Oh, that's a nice looking arm. I should have been playing music, but whatever. Can't wait for this new Warframe update to come out. I just want my open world Venus and my new Nodachi, whatever the fuck that new sword's gonna be. Looks like it's a 200 Akana, so that'll be interesting. Maybe then I'll actually make some more Warframe videos. Speaking of Warframe and whatnot, I actually have an SFM project that I was working on in Warframe that I might upload here because it's just a scrap project that I never ended up finishing, even though I teased it in like one of my Warframe videos, because it was meant to be a continuation that I made in SFM. Like, you know those capture, like, anyone doesn't know this, but if you know those capture videos that like Porphy does, that was like a huge inspiration for me to make my own capture videos, which didn't end up getting very much traction, so whatever. I know my content's just gonna evolve rapidly. No one's gonna see it though, and it's sad. When everyone's commented yet. Oh fuck, I accidentally clicked. Yeah, 480p, man. I wish I had better internet to actually stream, but sadly I don't. It takes me like forever to upload a video. Let's just do a bit of erasing on that. One of the things I also like to use is the same brush settings for the eraser tool. It's really nice to erase details that you don't want to erase too much of, but you want to keep some of it as well. Alright, let's do a paint over the scout's face. And then we'll probably like do his hands next. Oh, by the way, I forgot to elaborate on this. With my strokes, I usually like do, like as if I was actually painting these kind of one-way strokes, or if I'm just really lazy, just go like back and forth. Whatever I'm feeling today. It's all about you, man. So it's your work. You gotta do what you are naturally doing. That's how you put your soul onto your work. I don't even know what the fuck I just said. To notice a flaw in your work while you're working on it, if you feel that certain urge to take out that little flaw in your that you might see in your work, just like do it right away. Never like second guess, or like never hesitate, I guess you could say. It's one of the things I had to learn the hard way. But always remain focused on your project or whatever you're working on. I'm not like the best SFMer, but I guess I'm good. I'm not trying to sound like a humble brag, but if I'm not mistaken, I have seen better. Like Doomsday or Stag. Their work is just amazing. Wonder if anyone's commented yet. Whoops. Another thing I like to do is just have some very light strokes that make subtle changes to the picture. Very subtle changes, but are easily noticeable by the artist himself. But it makes a change for the good. So that's what like a lot of art is all about. It's all those subtle details that really make a piece look nice, I guess. If anyone here also needs another tip, I guess you could say consuming various forms of media is like another way to really get is one way to get your inspiration going. I think like a week ago, I went to this dream house that my mom entered us into, and it gave me lots of inspiration as to something that I might want to do that I want to like. So it gave me a lot of inspiration for a piece that I wanted to work on in the future, maybe a map or something, and like make a SFM scene with it. But the house itself had a lot of impact on me to make me remember a lot of it. It gave me an idea. It's something people should consider. So yes, that actually does mean probably going outside or experiencing shit for yourself. See how much of a difference that makes. It's a significant difference. We're just gonna end it from here. Let me stop the poster from here, pardon me. As you can see here, we have a nicely made SFM render and photoshopped thing. Just gonna add a bit of a signature on it. Oops. And just adjust the opacity. Perfect. I like this a lot, actually. This is so fucking cancerous. Let's see. Let's name this to cancerfuck.png. And yep, this is basically the end of the stream. I hope you guys learned something from this and weren't too annoyed by my ramblings. This is just what usually goes on in my head. So yeah. Thanks for watching, I guess, to whoever was watching, and yeah.